welcome. Starting a new project today. We're going to do a sun catcher. I've got a collection of beads. I'll go through them in a sec. For my base, from where everything is going to fall, this was a 5-inch cake plate. You know those cardboard ones with the silver on it that you pop cakes on? And I only wanted 3 inches for this project, so I cut it down with a with my sharp knife. Anyway, on the back, a lot of my marks are from a previous guesstimate. Anyway, I have marked a center, and I've made a hole with this needle, and then let's just grab a little ruler here, half inch between the center, from the center, that's your first circle. So if you draw a 1-inch circle around that center spot, you'll get your first circle. I'm actually lucky enough to have these, which really helped. But if you don't, just use what you can. Anyway, on this one, I've got six holes, which I have punctured with the needle. And for the second circle is about 1 1/8 away from the center. This is a 3-inch. 3-inch or 3.5? It's a 3-inch circle, this one. So 1 1/8 from the center is when you do your next circle. And if you'll notice, I've got a hole there and a hole there. I've offset that one on the outer circle between those two, and popped a hole. And then I measured for my hanging strands. I measured equally in 4. So without these circle templates with the lines on, I'm not sure how you would do it. I'll leave that up to you. Perhaps use a cup or something to draw your circle, and then find your center point and draw equal lines. I'll leave that up to you. Anyway, I have placed some pretty paper on the top, and I'm going to put the same on the bottom. But first up, I've just glued that with a wet glue. First up, I'm going to re-pierce my holes. Just lightly, so that they come through from that pretty paper. And do all of them. just go back over them. You can see if I tilt that up, you can see. Just poke them back in this way to make them more visible. That one's a bit awkward. See them coming up now? Don't guess if you're not sure, go back through the back. Make sure you've got your 4 hanging ones as well. Missing somewhere there. Yep, there it is. Okay. Let me just turn that light off for a second. That's better. So you can see all your holes there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now turn it round. And put your glue on your paper rather than your board, because you don't really want it to go into any of those holes. So pop that on. I'll just give it a bit of a burnish. Push that glue around. I'll have to put the light on a bit. Now if you want to go shabby chic, you can get a nail file and file these edges down and then gesso them or paint them white. I'm going to be putting some trim around it, so I'm not going to bother at this stage. So what we need to do now is make sure we pierce this side. Actually we don't need to pierce that yet. You can if you want, because if this is the underside, you'll be threading your beads up and they will be coming through here, so you can pierce it then. It's up to you. I'll just give it a quick pierce just in case. 6. That looks about it. Okay. Now we'll get to the beads. I've got these little gold beads which I'm going to put in between the pink and the clear. I have these pink glass crystal faceted beads, a little bit of AB in them. They sparkle really nicely in the sun. I have got I counted 680 of them, but then I found another little container if I should need them. So go 700 at this stage. And then in here, these are 6mm beads. These ones, and these little white ones, clear ones, are 4mm. So the feature is the pink. How many? I have 300 of these 4mm clear plastic crystal beads. 2 packs. Altogether I have 300. I've drawn a little diagram of what I'm aiming to achieve. The centre strand is going to be the longest, and the drop on that is this beautiful 1.5 inch faceted crystal that really catches the sunlight. And the first circle is going to come up a little bit higher than the drop, and the drops on those are going to be a teardrop faceted crystal. Oops. With a gold bead cap. And probably a bead like this to add some a little bit more glamour to the actual drop. This is a beautiful glass bead that's got some pink and pale green inside. It looks like it's got some pink and pale green bubbles inside. It's a beautiful bead. Okay, and in between the pink beads and the clear beads, I'm going to put these. Probably won't need that many, but there we go. Okay, I'll just put my light back on so that I can see. Okay. The thread I'm using is a linen thread. Sorry with the light off and on. Linen thread. It's a strong thread. I've never used it before. I usually use a Nemo or Nymo, however you say it, nylon thread. So this is a new trial for me, but it says it's a very strong thread, so I've taken their word for it. I bought 2, but I don't think I'll need it because there's 22 yards in one of these by Hemline. This is in Australia. Oops. Now that looks absolutely perfect. It is strong as. It's not going to be bothered by the weight of my beads. Good. Now, my beading needles. I bought these from, sorry about the light again, Beadsmith. I've not used these before either. I have several different sizes in here. I would probably go the small one. And these are actually, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see they're divided? Where you put your thread through? And they are so fine, so you don't have to worry about putting, you know, not getting your thread into such a fine needle. It's brilliant. That's what attracted me to these. So I will use the small one. Put my thread through. I'm actually going to use doubled thread, and I'll tell you why. So once I get my strands done and I'm popping them through into the base here, let's try that, then I will put another bead on top here. Then I can take this off the needle, and then I can tie it around this last bead. Now that'll hold extra security for all your beads, for all your dangles. So that's why I'm using a double strand. Let's see if I can get that back out. Well, no. That's because I've got my light off, I can't see. Okay, I'll let you know how long. First time user with these needles, it is just a tad awkward for me, but okay. keep your thread in the middle until you've got your length, otherwise it'll lock in that groove. Okay, let's just measure this. We've got that's 10, 20, ouch, at 25 and a half, so you go 25 or 26 inches. And I am going to knot the bottom. And I'll trim that off. Right. To start off, we're going to thread this one, thread it through, and then loop it through that loop. Okay, you see that there? Now we want a feature on top of this. I've just got some thoughts here. Well, we're going to use one of them. But I was thinking, what if I did that, that, and that? Well, let's just do it and we'll see. I'm not sure about that gold bead. Let's put a collar first. I know this has a hole. It's very difficult to see. Come on, I know you've got a hole. Huh. Okay. Ah, found you. Okay. It's giving us a nice base, but we really need to secure it a bit more. So what if I put another one or I ended with the gold? Let's end with the gold and see what happens there. It just has to be aesthetically pleasing for you. No, I like that. So now we'll start with our pattern, and I haven't decided yet what my pattern is going to be. But it will be, start with the pink. No, we won't. We'll start with one of these. Because the pink is the feature, because they're a bigger bead. Where'd you go? Funnily enough, I usually work in threes, but I'm going to go 2 this time. Two plus the gold, this is a tiny, I think it's only 2.5 millimeters or something. 3 at a push. Lost him. Okay, and then we're going to put a pink. Gold. Pink again. I think we'll do 3. A pattern of 3. 3, 2, 3, 2. You will need good lighting to do this. Okay, so there's my pattern. There's my pattern there. Oops. 2. Let's see if it'll autofocus. Might do if I turn the light on. That's better. You can see. We've got 2 clear, and then we're going to have 3 pink. Then we've got 2 clear, 3 pink, all the way up the strand, with the gold in between every single one. Okay, now we go pink. I'm not sure how to fast forward my videos when it comes time to upload them, so please feel free to do it yourself. It can be a tedious job. I did one, not actually a sun catcher, but a nice, like a chandelier type drop with pearls, and mostly white with some pastel pink, blue and purple. And I did it in a spiral, going from the center, you know, around, down. So each length was a different, each drop was a different length. And I used over 3,000 beads, and that's not including the drops. So that was a project and a half, and it was, I think that was snapped up before it was even an hour on Facebook. I made one for myself years ago. We're talking, oh my gosh, just over 20 years ago, with pearls. And back then I didn't know about these these cake decorating plates or anything like that, so I had to think of something, and I made it out of royal icing, like your fondant paste. Made it out of fondant paste, put all my holes in it, dried it out, and then varnished it. And it's still going. I've given it to my daughter now, and she's got it hanging up, and it's still going 20 years later. So, what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. I'm not sure how long I'm going to do this. I'll just judge it when the time comes, although I should, because I've only got 300 of these. We need to be careful. I will let you know exactly how many before you start the project. I wouldn't like you to get caught with your pants down. Oh, cup of tea. Lemon and ginger, beautiful. Probably going to do about 3 times this size. So let's go roughly 4.5. So maybe 18 inches. But let's not guess, just wait, and I'll let you know exact numbers. Ouch. These needles are great. Very, very fine. So you won't want to be rough with them. I think that is quite a pretty design there. See how it sparkles when you get some light on it. Just gorgeous. What I may try and do when I come to the next circle is to offset the pink slightly and have it going across where the clear ones are, just so you get like a little bit of a zigzag thing. If you stay with me, you'll find out what I mean. Now I will probably make all my strands before adding them to the plate at the top. Okay, look, I might as well finish this, close this video off now, and I will go and make all these strands, and when I come back I'll have all measurements for you so you can get started. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.